live with breaking news. This is Channel 4 News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 10. Fires in East Tennessee are threatening one of the state's most popular tourist destinations. We have team coverage.
Downtown Gatlinburg and several nearby neighborhoods are under a mandatory evacuation.
Some devastating pictures out there tonight. Downtown Gatlinburg under mandatory evacuation because of fire in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Police are going into the area to get people out. National Guard called in. City officials urging everyone to leave. Here is why. The video posted, look at this, across social media. Just terrifying here tonight.
Overnight, hundreds of people were ordered to leave homes and hotels in the Gatlinburg area under mandatory evacuation orders. More than 30 homes and businesses burned to the ground overnight in a fire that officials believe may be a case of arson. Motorists driving along smoke-choked roads, fleeing intense flames, looking and spreading like molten lava. While terrified guests were trapped inside a Hilton hotel surrounded by flames, the fire too close and too dangerous for them to leave. This video is taken from inside the hotel. Fires burning out of control just outside the front door. Some residents who live there feeling lucky to just make it out alive.
They let me go back in just for a few minutes to get my animals out, to get them safely.
From devastating to deadly, we just learned within the last hour that the wildfires in the Smoky Mountains have claimed 3 lives. Now, we have watched these flames target populated areas like Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Folks, if you've been away from the news today, you have missed a lot.
Fire officials here in Gatlinburg tell us they are still going door to door, checking for people who may be trapped in their homes. Meanwhile, 5 miles away in the community of Cobley Knob, everyone's accounted for, but many of their homes did not make it through last night's fire. Active fires burn along the Cobley Knob section of Gatlinburg. A National Guard helicopter dropping water from a nearby lake to put out the flames.
This is by far the worst that Pittman Center's ever had. You all saw, I guess you saw earlier, they had a Black Hawk helicopter doing airdrops. We have never had that here.
This is one of about 100 homes here at the Cobley Knob section of Gatlinburg that burned to the ground last night. Pittman Center volunteer firefighters have worked around the clock protecting the rest of the homes on the mountain, but they say the winds at about 80 miles an hour were just too strong to save everything. Now 3 people are dead, more than a dozen injured, and county officials are telling evacuees it's just too unsafe to come back to Gatlinburg right now.
We're going to leave you with some of the powerful images and the sound that have been captured.
We're dealing with the worst possible conditions imaginable.
This is crazy.
All of Tennessee shares our sorrow over the loss here of life and obviously all the other damage that has been done here. This is a special place in the state of Tennessee.
Everything is burning around us, every cabin, everything.
My house was gone. My business of 31 years is gone.
Smoke was so thick we couldn't breathe.
It's a little numbing to see the extent of the damage.
The things I've known probably don't exist anymore. Pray for us.
We are live with team coverage for you this morning. Kevin Traeger is live in Gatlinburg. Carly Gordon joining us live as co-anchor in Pigeon Forge.
Thousands of people are waking up to devastation. The people here have been hoping and praying for rain. You can see they got it, but along with that rain, they got severe weather, also heavy winds, which could have made this fire situation far worse. Turns out you're the owner of the Westgate Hotel, which is now destroyed. Is that right?
Well, mostly. We lost about 74 of 100 buildings, approximately 800 keys burned to the ground.
We just learned, sadly, the death toll in the raging wildfires there has now grown to 7.
We have you covered on every angle as police search for the missing and evaluate damage. We're even hearing one mid-state woman's story of survival.
We've spent most of the afternoon just driving around some of the most ravaged areas, and it's been unbelievable. Most of it looks like what you see behind me. There's hardly anything left of just dozens of cabins here in the mountains.
Well, 3 brothers injured in the fires are in a Nashville hospital at this hour. Their parents are missing. The Summers family was enjoying a family vacation in Gatlinburg Monday night when the fire started closing in.
The Summers family vacation ended in chaos. Janet Summers posted on Monday afternoon, "The fires are close to Gatlinburg, ashes floating, feels like end of times," she wrote.
What is a place to come to have fun, such a tourist attraction. Tonight is a place of uncertainty and heartbreak. Here at the shelter, there are more than 200 people that will be sleeping here tonight, waiting for tomorrow to hear from officials when they can go back to their homes or at least see what is left of their homes. And tonight I spoke with a couple who lost close to 30 of their 131 cabins. The cabins are how they make a living, and on Monday night, with their own eyes, they watched it all go up in flames.
We actually watched Pine Mountain burn.
What was that
It's
like?
very devastating. We were both speechless. That's our livelihood. That is the town's livelihood, the tourism business. That's what we depend on, and our cleaners as well. And here we are near the holidays, and that's all I could think of. What are we going to do?
We are live at Bluff View Way, actually above Pigeon Forge and Sevierville, where we have followed the Williamson County and Brentwood fire departments here. As we walk, you can see all around me nothing but charred soil, burned trees, and then tucked away here are people's homes, their cabins, and their property, either burned or completely damaged by these fires. But you can still see that smoke is rising from the ground, even on the way up here. The signs directing us to Bluff View, the cabins here, those signs were melted because of the heat from the fire.
Hundreds of people fled their burning homes in Gatlinburg and in Pigeon Forge Monday as a mandatory evacuation was put into place. But some of those people are now questioning the way they were notified.
Sevier County uses a notification system designed for emergencies like this, times when they need to reach thousands of people as soon as possible. But some people say they never knew this system existed. As soon as a mandatory evacuation was issued on Monday night, troopers, firefighters, and volunteers rushed people to safety. As the flames encroached, thousands of people fled their homes. But some voiced their frustration over the notice they did not receive.
No warning, nothing.
Others, like Phyllis Seidel, say they grappled with when to leave.
I had called the police earlier in the day and asked, is somebody going to tell us if there's a time we need to leave? And she said, we'll do a reverse 911 if you have a house phone, which I do. When somebody started banging on the door, I was surprised, but I came out to the door and he said, are you packing to leave? And I said, I didn't know I was supposed to.
So how do these so-called reverse 911 calls work? The county controls a notification system called Code Red. It's a service offered by the private company Emergency Communications Network in Florida. Code Red lets governments send alerts to their citizens. But to receive alerts, people must sign up for them, providing information like their phone numbers or email addresses. Jeff Burkhart rents out 3 properties in Gatlinburg, but he says as long as he's owned them, he never knew the system existed.
Anything would be great to get the word out. Some kind of system like that would have been probably a lifesaver for several people.
Today, Channel 4 is teaming up with the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee to raise money for fire victims in East Tennessee.
In the end, that's all I am.
More than $2,000 have been donated so far, so come out, bring us your cash or check donation.
Hey everybody, this is Brad Paisley. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but it's really important that you give.
Thanks to all of you. We raised more than $250,000, around $277,000 and counting right now.
The damage on the Dollywood property was not too significant, but just down the road a few miles, the scene was very different. The last time they were on this road, Tim and Donna Patrick were running for their lives.
When we came up here on Monday, everything was in flames here.
They decided to climb the hill on Ski Mountain Road today, hoping to see something, anything, that reminded them this was home.
I saved the bowl. It's all I could save out of this whole rubble of mess.
The Patricks lived on this cliff overlooking the Gatlinburg they grew to love.
And I had hope I might find something, and you get here and there's nothing.
An antique cannon was about the only other thing that survived. But even before they sifted through the rubble, the couple had made a decision. They would rebuild right here in this very spot.
We do have the view, and we're going to start over again.